Alright guys, welcome back to the Victory Garden War Garden series. We're going to build a compost bin out of just stuff I have laying around. All YouTubers do this. It's kind of annoying. They're like, I built this thing for $10. And then they had like everything conveniently laying around. But I'm going to build this for free because I conveniently have it laying around. It's not new stuff. It's not going to be like new stuff. It's all these old fence posts. I'm just gonna make a hefty square, like 3 posts this way, 3 in a square, and then maybe 1 across in the front. Somehow we'll wire it up with some wire. I got a pile post there, I got a couple posts there, and then I got various odds and ends of fence, which I'm gonna use that. I have the welded wire fence. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna put 3 posts, and I'm gonna kind of go in and out, like kind of weave back and forth where it can't fall each way. I think, I don't know, kind of wing it. I was gonna weld up a box. I was gonna take the T-posts and weld them in a square, and that seems like a lot of work. It's easier for me just to grab them. We'll chuck them in the wagon, and we'll get the T-post pounder, and we'll go up behind the greenhouse, probably up over there in the garden area. I've been kicking around where to put it, and I don't know. I figure near the garden would be the best, because then we can use the compost there. Guess my compost method is I'm gonna find all the leaves I can, all the brown leaves. I'm gonna chuck it in. I'm gonna chuck grass clippings and brown leaves. I got some eggs the chickens kind of break, or sometimes we don't get to them, and I don't like to use them if they set out in the chicken coop, a couple days or so. So I'm gonna use them. I'll just crack them up. We'll put them in the thing, and we'll make compost bin. Man, there's gonna be a lot of grass clippings, leaves, some pine needles, things like that. But it'd be good to start making topsoil where we have it, where we don't have to try to run out and get it. I do have some of my rhubarbs. They started to sprout up a little bit. Down here in the south, no one knows what rhubarb is. And then it seems like it may be kind of hard to grow. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to plant it by a tree that gets some sun and some shade so it doesn't get burnt out. So we'll get the lawnmower over. I'll load up a bunch of those, and we'll get up behind the greenhouse and we'll continue this. All right, guys, we were over at the spot. Things are collected. Many trips made because I kept forgetting everything. Oh, just on a side note, I got the little gate in right there. I'm gonna make a run all the way down to the goat house, put a new door in the side where they can run out, and I can release them into different fields up here. And then I got all these posts, 15 wooden posts and like 20 T-posts in. A lot of digging. And then some up on the other side too, just to reinforce things. But here's my area. It's kind of under the tree here. I got a piece of fence. I grabbed another half-roll fence. I just grabbed a whole pile of T-posts because I do want to lay out my corners for this area in here. If no one's gonna till it, I'm gonna get the mini X with the rippers, and then I'll have to spend a lot of time ripping it up. Grab my fencing bucket, which I only need my cutters and my I forget what this shit's called. You can get a whole roll of it for a couple bucks. I can't remember. I forget now. Sorry. I'm gonna use it to wire the fence to the post. I don't want to use my fence clips because I need them. Oop. Woo. All right. Here's the area right behind the greenhouse, which I'm happy my rhubarb is showing up. I got the vents open. There's gonna be pine cones and stuff falling down on it, but I don't know. This space is not really gonna grow anything. This is a branch, which pine cones will probably break down too. There's my little buddy, little bottle goat. But yeah, a piece of this fence is probably not gonna be enough. And like I said, I grabbed the other little roll right here. Actually, it's probably a lot right here. Like I said to previous, that's junk. Don't bother with it for anything but maybe keeping rabbits out and for chickens. If you need it for animals, it's not worth it. I'm just grabbing a rake here. I'm gonna rake. These pine cones are annoying to step on. Must be a pine cone a year. It's a lot this year. Gather them up. I could probably run them in the wood chipper maybe. I hit them with the mower and it didn't really, I didn't want to mow too low. I don't like mowing too low. Yeah, I might throw them in the bottom, I don't know. God, a lot of pine cones. Actually, I can put that back in the greenhouse. Guess anybody has a use for pine cones, like maybe a fire, I don't know. I don't have a fireplace thing. Anything, if they make good mulch, maybe I grind them up or something. What do you guys think? Just gonna grab some of these old posts. If you want the wire to stick to your posts, you put the tittles on the inside. Oh, I've been driving posts for the past 2 days and my shoulders are tired. I usually just drive them in until I can't feel the little nub sticking up. Guess you can measure it or whatnot, because I don't want to be, I guess it's not super particular. So I want to be lower than the fence, which is pretty good, right at the white line. So I could go down a little bit more to make it a lot more stouter. So I could go down, what, 2 nubs? That's pretty good. There's one. So I'll drive them in. You don't want to hear that pounding, and we'll take a look. And I'll show you how I wire it. I'm gonna do a little quick video, and then I guess I'm gonna go around and collect stuff. I got a whole pile of eggs I can chuck in there, stuff like that. I see people. There's like a British guy. Well, I can't remember who he was, but they used just wire, long wire, and they were throwing stuff in there. But I feel like stuff wouldn't stay as good, but it did actually animals go in and out, but I don't want animals going in and out. I don't want animals over here really. I'm thinking about planting my rhubarb up in here. It's shady. There's not a lot of sun though, so I'm not sure. I might have to plant it on the outskirts of the tree area a little bit, like where it gets sun for a while, because it doesn't do good down here from what they say. It needs sun in the morning and then in the afternoon it doesn't. So I think over in here somewhere, because it doesn't get sun at a certain point. Let me get some posts pounded in. I'll probably just overmake it. I'll just make it kind of big. I see a lot of people just use pallets, so it's 4 foot by 4 foot. But I'm just gonna wing it. Maybe as wide as the greenhouse, and then I'll come out a bit. Maybe not as, I want to be able to reach the back, so I'll probably just come out 3 foot where I can reach it with pitchfork or something. Yeah, something like longer and skinnier. And if I have to, I could just turn around and make another one on that side. Just gotta have one on each side. I got plenty of room over here. I'm sure the pine tree will like getting some of the gubbins at the bottom. And then maybe we'll put another one somewhere else too. I don't know. I thought about on the other side of the chicken coop. Kind of over where that barrel is on the back over there. Maybe. I don't know yet. Gonna move the barrel over here. I'm gonna use it to water the garden. I ain't dragging hoses around. I have a little water jug. But oh, we did plant. Get a little off topic all the time if you're new to this channel. I'm worried about planting yet because we still have cold snaps and whatnot. I do got potatoes planted. Nothing here yet. This is gonna be my squash and zucchini spot. I put this in here because I know it's gonna grow out. I'll let it grow out into this pathway and then over to that way. I didn't throw no wood chips on there yet because they'll wash off. Like this one, I have a 2x4. You know, same thing here. I got 2x4s to keep it from moving. I got my carrots planted. I have this on here just to kind of hold water and to keep the birds from eating the seeds. I'll leave it here for a week or so until I start getting some sprouts, and I'll check in a few days. I don't want to leave it too long. I planted I can't remember the name, but they get real purple, and then when you cut them open, the inside's a bright yellow. It's an old historic carrot, from what I'm understanding, which is pretty neat. You know, new carrots nowadays are just generic orange, blah. So I'm trying to find something that's a little, you know, not crappy. So let me get the post in and we'll take a look. All right, I got the kind of laid out. It's kind of wide, a little bit shorter where I can reach the back. I kind of want to make the front, you know, not high. I want to cut it down lower. So I'm not sure if I should try to drive a post way in Or I can just wire one across. I forget how long it is. It might be too long for that. Though I have this bent ass one right here. Oh, we're like super close. Too bad my welder's not portable. We'll just come on here and tack weld it up. Zappity zap. Something like that. Where I can, it's a little crooked, but nothing's crooked. So the sides and the back will be high, front will be kind of low, where you're gonna get your compost out. And I can just put the wire. Wonder how hard it would be to drive one of these all the way down this far. Well, that one went in pretty easy. It just went. I hit a void, but I know there's rock down here. I had to chisel through some of it, like a sandstone. But I have this decent fence. Go across the back. I don't know if I want to do it in pieces or try to do it one whole roll. Like start here, wire it, and just pull it on the outside, inside, outside, outside. Just kind of try to wire it up, and then cut me a piece for the front, and it would make a nice little spot. Kind of tempted to drive one of these way down in where I can sit on top, sort of. I don't know. Like a perfect world is sitting there, not too bad, but in practice, trying to make it stay there is a different story. I'll fudge with it. I'll get the wire up a little bit, and then I'll show you what I'm using to clip it. A little update. I just ran some wire around the corner. Not real good yet. Contemplating. Go just drive one down the center just like I have there. Just not putting a wire on each side. I feel like I hit my elbow on it. So, also contemplating is getting a grinder and cutting one shorter. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to get the wire on there and stuff. We'll check it out. I may have to like drill through and put a nut or something, or self-tapping screw. But yeah, that's kind of the shape. And now I'm gonna try to wire it. And then I got this other piece of wire. I might just fold it over on itself and just kind of wire it together around that post and around that side. And I'll probably hold it. So let me get the wire and we'll come back and take a look. Well, the one spare roll, I made it to here, but that's gonna be kind of annoying because then there'll be a gap there. So I'll probably just cut it at the end and I'll run the other piece, this other janky piece here. I'll run it from corner to corner, and then I'll cut it down to that post and cut it down to and I'll fold it over on itself, and it'll like encapsulate that a little bit, and it'll help just keep it on there. Now what I'm doing over here, it's nice to have somewhere to sit, so I'm sitting. But what I'm doing is I got one right here. I'm just cutting me a piece of wire. I don't know, it's probably too long, and then I'm just going through and through caddy corner, boom, and then I'm just kind of pushing the fence, kinking a little bit. See the little nubs? It will be under a nub because then it can't push up. And like I said, I got caddy corner. Then I'm just crossing it. It's hard to do this by one hand. I cut that a little too long, that piece, but I'll just fish it around. Then I'm just twisting it, and it's going to tighten up, and it's going to tighten the fence up. Now don't go too much twisty, or you'll tear it, because it'll just tear. And then I'll just take this, and I'll just pop this ear through because I made it too long, and I'll just wrap it around. Just pointing these down so I don't get myself with it. And I'm gonna go a decent amount on these. That one there I just used itself. I cut it back, and then I use itself to wire itself all the way down. And then this one I'm just gonna do this about half a foot or foot. A couple more up through here. I kind of want around and in between. If it starts to bulge too much, I'll come and drive another stake in the corners, or maybe the sides are kind of wide. I'm not sure yet. I don't know how much this is really going to get totally filled. I've been wanting to make one. I have some scrap eggs that I found buried in the chicken coop, stuff like that, and I don't really want to throw them in the trash can, so I want to turn them into compost. So that means I'll probably grab some of this stuff. It's probably not the best thing, you know, because pine needles and like acidity and stuff, but this compost will be here for a bit. Grass clippings, they say don't use grass clippings, blah, blah, blah. But some grass clippings, some little branches. I'm gonna go find me some leaves, because leaves are real good. I'll take the lawnmower over. So handy. I don't have a UTV I don't think I'll get one either, with most of them being $30,000 freaking dollars. So I'll probably just keep on a lawnmower. It's unfortunate, but you never know. Whoever wants to send me ATV is fine, just let me know. But oh, I got tons of poopy hay and regular hay and goat poo. I gotta clean them buildings out. I gotta get the pitchfork out and everything in the trailer, so I'll be able to fill this thing up pretty quick with stuff. From what I know is when you put brown in, you want to put some green in to help, I guess, heat. Because if you bale hay that's green, it'll eventually catch on fire because of that heat. So yeah, I got tons of worms here. Like, there's worms out the wazoo here. You can lay something down for a while, pick it up, and there's worms under it. So I'm sure they'll make their way in here. When I dump out the goat waters, I'll pick the worms out from under the trough, and I'll throw them in the raised beds and stuff. Let's get some worms in. That's what I'm doing. I'll get this all wired up and that front part bent down. Maybe I'll try to run another, I mean, if another wire diagonal will work. I'll probably wrap a wire around it a bit and then run it over and wrap it around the post. Yeah, around it and then around it. Let's keep it from sagging down. But I think I kind of like that idea. This isn't bad. And then if I build another one right there across from it, I'll just put the opening this side and the opening facing this side, a little aisle. Because not a lot of stuff's going to grow up under here, because you can see it's fairly shaded for the longest time. And then the pine needles and stuff. I got to clean them out a bit, maybe push them back to the tree. All right, let me get it all wired up and we'll come back and take a look. You guys let me know, you guys got a compost bin? What'd you use? Did you build a bigger one like this? I guess this is big. Do you have like a huge one? I know you can just put it on the ground, pile it, and then put a tarp over it, but I kind of like, I try to be uniform with things. This is kind of ugly, but it's behind this greenhouse. I decided I did a little differently. I made sure this ran along the crease, and I just pinched it and folded it over. And I'm just pulling this through and just bending these around. Because the next piece of wire I'm going to come around, over, and around. Then we're going to cut it down the side. We're going to fold it over so it's double layered through here. So I'm not sure. I may need something in the middle, depending. I don't want it to bow out. But being double over, and pinned to the side, I probably won't have a problem. I tend to overbuild things. I see people building with pallets. But my problem is you finally get your topsoil thing going good and all that and rotate, and it just falls apart because it's built out of wood. I seen someone build one. They used like a screen or something, and then they built like a wooden floor in it, which is kind of odd, I guess. I'm just gonna leave the ground like it is, and then the worms will come up through. Maybe, they might not. But yeah, this is a little update. It's coming along. Giving the old fingers a good workout too. Just can't use tools all the time. All three sides are good now. I got a bunch of wire. I did like every good bit. Pulled it, kind of folded it like I wanted. Like I said, I don't know if I'll need them on the sides, the one in the middle or a couple in the middle. Small pieces. I mean, I could probably just get rebar. Is pretty cheap actually. Could probably get like a couple pieces of rebar and just drive it in the ground. But yeah, that's how it is. I mean, we'll test it out. We'll come out here and we'll pitchfork some of this hay up. I just mowed up there. Try to get the grass kicked into gear so it'll start growing. So I can go up there and rake up some of that and bring it on. And there's a little stubby right there. I can't zoom in. She's right under by that little trap. Stubby Stubbs. There's a little buddy. He just goes on. Hey, little stubbies. Hey. Oh, watch. We're gonna hand feed him a little something. Yeah, you want some of this? You want some? Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. You gotta be careful because all the other goats will run over here in a minute when they see me hand feeding them. They're not from the same mom, but they hang out together pretty close because they grew up in the cage being bottle fed next to each other. So only problem is he's pretty pushy. They want to get in. They're not from the same mom, but they hang out together pretty close because they grew up in the cage being bottle fed next to each other. But yeah, there's tons of this stuff. And then in the houses, and in them houses, there's all kinds of, it's gonna be heavily laden with their stuff. So I'm just gonna give them a whole pile right here. We'll let them get on with that. I'm gonna get away before they notice. Oh, I almost walked into that post. I forgot it's here. All right, let me wrap this thing up a little bit, and then I'll start filling it up and take a look. All right, fingers a little tired and rusty. Here we go. Boom. I unintentionally made it the width of a person, apparently. The apocalypse is coming. No, that would. Anyway, I think that's a pretty good size, but I get a ton of stuff from the goats, and then the chickens we clean out the house. Not so often, because now I'm down to 5. Soon we'll have a bunch more, and then they'll make it dirty. So I'm gonna grab a couple of. I got some of these like black barrels. I'll grab a couple of them where I can just shovel stuff into and then dump it in here. But yeah, I mean, that's not bad out of scrap. I really just have time into it. I got a stack of other little posts. I'll probably put 4. I want to just stake out the area I want to till. Let me start filling it up a little bit and we'll take a look. All right, I went up there and raked some of the grass. Of course, it's, so I got to rake some. And it's dry, the wind's like, no you don't. And it tries to blow it all over the place. But I managed to get some. Well, I actually had 3 barrels, but I decided to throw one to the goats just as a treat. Problem is when you spoil them too much and they become crackheads on stuff. Now it kind of makes me want to make a hand hay baler because I can't afford an actual hay baler. Well, I could get a hay baler, but then the tractor you need to cut her into rate. Like I need a billion things. But a hand hay baler, this is a whole different video, but I think I need a scythe then though, because you have to cut the grass off taller. I got mulching blades on mine, so not gonna work out too good. Well, let's see if this makes a drop in the bucket. I got a little tiny one. This stuff's pretty dry now. Boop. All right, and here's another one. It looks like a lot, but it ain't. So there's my green, and now I'm gonna go get the pitchfork, and then I'll get some of the hay from the goats, and I'll throw it in here. And I don't know if I'm supposed to, not camera. I don't know if I'm supposed to mix it. See, you can watch videos and people can tell you how to do stuff, but until you actually just, start doing it, it's all just theory. I mean, technically not. I mean, it's people do it, but technically it's theory to you because you haven't done it. So now I'm gonna do it. I wonder if I should I wonder if I could throw wood chips in there. I know that wood chips, if they're not dry and whatnot, they can suck certain nutrients out, but where are they gonna suck them to the wood chip? And the wood chip's gonna break down. Anyway, like I said, let me go get the pitchfork and I'll go throw some loads of that stuff in there. Then I'll grab the eggs, and then I imagine I have to break them because they got them, one of them black Japanese eggs that they bury in the ground for 800 years. So apparently it's not gonna break itself, I guess. Or I was just sitting here thinking as I was doing this, I didn't hear a car go by the whole time. Truck, nothing. I just heard one go by a few minutes ago, but all I'm hearing is birds and nothing else. Pretty nice. So I don't know if that's like ominous. I mean, there's not many cars that go down here anyway, but no, I said something. I think I hear somebody. But it's getting less and less. So this is a thing to me is a necessary thing after a while, because if stuff gets real bad as people predict, it may not. It may just stop, but who knows? I don't think so, but it'll be good to make my own compost so we can grow our own stuff. My other thing is I need to figure out how to save the seeds from things that we're growing. But it's all a learning process. They say it's never too late, but it's never too late until it's too late, right? All right, I made it out there with the 2 buckets. They're kind of starting to piss me off a little bit. They're like a bunch of kids, so when you got the buckets out there, they're playing with the buckets, and then get in front of the pitchfork. I'm gonna have to like feed them later when I want to get more out and then clean out the house. But I got some of it. It's a bunch of just bit. Then we're gonna dump it in. They hear the bucket, and then they don't realize it's stuff they don't want in the bucket. Which I only cleaned out like a little tiny bit of the goat house. So I figured I was gonna spread it out a little bit. And I'm gonna put some of this on top. And then in the middle. I guess I'll have to wet it down. Kind of activate it a little bit. So yeah, boom. That is as much as I'm doing right now. My head is pounding and whatnot. I'll probably just go fill the watering can real quick and do it. Anyway, you guys have a good one. And I think I got another gate video. Snazz up the gate a little bit if the hardware worked. I'll see you guys later on. Do like and subscribe. Let me know how many compost bins, you know, what size you got, and how you do your compost of what's around. I'll catch you guys later. You see all the little goatees. Little baby one right there.